So as you can see, I've kind of sculpted out a little bit of a rough draft of this character utilizing all types of tools in this tool palette, bringing up the geometry. Obviously we didn't start with this. We actually had to remesh and then project all utilizing some of the subdivisions down here. You can always play with this. This is a really cool tool. If you hold on a Mac the command and hover over the top of it, it kind of explains what all these different buttons do, and sometimes they can be a little difficult. You may have to play around with it a little bit, but it's definitely a useful tool to read those. More or less what we are trying to do here is sculpt out something very simple, particularly in this tutorial for the purposes of moving along quick and not worrying so much about my project, but your own project, and getting the understanding of this actual workflow utilizing Maya to ZBrush. As we move through this particular tutorial, we have to understand that having the least amount of subtools over here and keeping everything to a minimal and in a nice fashion down, it helps the processing of your computer to get the retopology done later on. And that's kind of our next stage that we're going to move into in the next couple of videos, where we actually take this is our lowest res on this particular object, but we want to bring it all together. We're probably going to keep the head separate from the body, only because we want to utilize morph targets in case we do any kind of mouth movement or eye movement, which is really kind of common in especially main characters for game art. But we do want to try to keep our character much lower in resolution than this, only because this kind of bogs down the game engine if you're going to have high resolution like this, especially if we're going to apply maps that look more like this. And you get the detail with this, but those high-res maps that we're going to try to pull from this mesh is going to look a lot better and work a lot better for in-game style characters. Now, as you can see, I did work a little bit on the face, a little bit on the body, and kind of worked in the back a little bit, which, you know, you can do whatever you want. I was just playing around, kind of getting a feel for it and trying to understand it. Now, if you notice down here, I do have the pack still on there. I don't really need it. I started taking a few things away from my subtools because they didn't really work well. I kind of took a different look to this character. Once you start working as an artist, you realize, you know, hey, I want to use my freedom, my artistic freedom, to create something that can, you know, be appealing to the eye. And I wanted to go kind of in a Android-looking way, but you know, things change. That's the whole concept of art. So next video we will kind of go over and just bring all these pieces together, whatever I need to. I think I'm going to probably keep all these apart. I'll probably connect this one and this one together, and then work my way through the UV master in order to help retopologize this particular character here. In doing the retopology, we're going to utilize some of our subtools, a subtool workflow that takes into account our, and if I can find it really quick, but our Z-spheres. And our Z-spheres are very useful. They tend to have a bit more of a, I guess you could say, a foundational sense to them, because you can build from them, but they do help in the process of retopology, and that's what we'll be discussing in the next video.